Hello. Hello, hello everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Pam pam para pam para pam 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 param pam 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 param pam 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 param pam. I know it's a bit scary to hear me singing. Okay, everything is ready. We can start the stream. We can. Yeah, I think we can. We can. Hello. Ah, my face. The webcam stopped working as usual. Wait a second. Now. Yes. Hello. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. Oh yeah. Do you want to see some nice picture of our game? Here is one. There is a kind of a special mount that you can get into the game if you speak with this NPC on the left. And you have some money to spend. Obviously, in-game money, not real money. Just in-game money. There's also a nice place that you can visit, which is actually a guild hall for some of the fighters. Hello, 9pack. Hey. Hello. We are working on refining a bit our release, adding new stuff, and we had a release on the 19th of July. We are working on, refining improvement and such. And in particular, I want to fix the visual equipment. Visual equipment is the ability for our characters to actually equip items in the right shoulder, left shoulder, back, and the two hips, and to basically show the items that you have in your inventory without really equipping them in your hands. And that is nice. The problem is that the locations are not completely correct for all the races, because I did it, I did kind of a first pass, and I crossed my finger and said, well, let's hope that it works. And it kind of worked, but there were obviously some bugs and things to fix. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna review all the visual locations and fix them as needed. Hopefully, I don't know how much it will take, but I have about 3 hours enough to stay here in the stream, and I hope that we can finish it and maybe even do something else. Let's see. Let's see. Meanwhile, if you have any questions on the game or on what I'm doing, or you want to share what you are doing with Unreal Engine, let me know. Okay, I'm just switching the music. So let's go one by one, right? Let's go one by one. Visual equip. The first one in theory is Diaboli Mail. Now, visual equip is grouped, meaning that there are a lot of races that have exactly the same rotation in the same position. Now, it's not super easy to see in this view, right? But Yeah, as you can see here, we have way less unique values, so it means that there are some that are very, very, very similar. And maybe we can go in groups or not. Yeah, we should go in groups. I think unfortunately translation is already very, very... Yeah, I think I will do this. I will first fix the rotation for all the ones that share the same problem, and then I will go with the translation. Is it translation or is it translation? Translation or translation? Translation. No, with N, yeah. Because in Italian is without the N. It is free for newbie. The game, yeah, the game is free. We do it as a hobby project. So there is a hobby project that lasted many, many years. So it's free. If you want to download it, you can go to our website, click on download now, and you can download it for Windows, for Linux, and for Mac. So you have it on all 3 platforms, and yeah, it is free. Okay, let's see who is sharing what. For example, all this, no, the first, no, I want to check the, oh, I removed the top, why remove the top filter? I mean, if I click on one, but anyway. Like, for example, only this race has a different rotation on the left shoulder, which is a bit weird, right? I don't think it's the greatest idea. Left shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. What I want to get the right and left hip, because I think these are the ones that are wrong. Actually, they are all shoulders, though. How it is possible? Ah, right hip rotation. No, but then we are missing something. Why? How it is possible? How it is possible that we don't have the left hip? Oh? Is this filter working okay, or is it just messing with me? It looks like it's not... What? Do I have another filter on? No. The left hip seems that it's never selected. No, let me see. 81 minus 89. 81 minus 89. This one. Okay, so this one and this one should be... Okay, I got it. What? Left hip. I don't know. Left hip. Okay, right hip. Left hip, right hip. I am genuinely confused, but fine. So the last one seems to be... I think he's reordering these items based on the filter, because there is no other possibility, right? You see that sometimes left hip pops up. Right hip. Okay, so these two are all left hips. And this one is all right hip. The only thing that I don't understand is why... Okay, let me do it differently because I'm trying to do something the wrong way. Can I filter this one by string? Like, for example, hip? Okay. Yeah, that is basically what I wanted to do. Okay, within this set, I want to see how many different values we have. Okay, we have 4 values actually. We have 4 values. And okay, we have 4 values. Okay, let's start with this one, which seems to be in common with many NPC. So let me take the Enki male, for example. Let me take an Enki male. This guy, and we send him to the plaza. Send him to the plaza. Okay, so what we want to see if the left, so let me get the most visible item for the visual equip, which is actually the large course, right? So this one is very visible. Sorry, not in my hand. Okay. So, wow, okay, so on this character is actually correct, right? So this one does not have the problem of the flipped rotation. Okay, good. So all these ones in terms of rotation are actually fine. Can we flag them in green or something so that we see? Can it be a green that is not killing my eyes? No, it's killing my eyes anyway. Fine, we will go with the standard green, even if it's a bit flash. Oh my god. Now let's use this green. Okay, so all these rotations are actually correct for the right hip. And I would say that probably they are correct also for the left hip. Now, because if they are correct on this guy, they are correct on all. So the next one we do, let me see, the left hip of the Enki male. No, the left hip of the Enki male. Okay, this one. So also all these one are all correct. Very nice. Okay, so the one that we have to test are these two. So the left hip of, for example, the Diaboli male, right? What race is easy? I mean, all the races are pretty much the same. So the different races are more for, you know, lore and history and background, but the races have very similar characteristic in terms of game function, how they function in the game. I mean, yes, like the dwarves maybe are a bit stronger, you know, and the cat people are a bit more agile, right? But overall, they are fairly similar. So you are not making a mistake, right, if you choose one race or another race. I mean, it's it is fairly similar. Also because the initial, I mean, it's true that you have different characteristics at the beginning of the game. So they vary a bit. But it's also true that during the game you increase your stats and skills quite a bit. And so the initial difference is pretty much disappearing, right? So it's not a big deal, right? I mean, obviously it's better if you select what you like at the beginning, but it's not a big deal, right? So you can change pretty much later on. And also we don't have classes, we just have skills. So you can increase your skills as you want during the game and change a bit, right? So I mean, you can start maybe with magic, but then you can go more to weapons. I mean, it's not a big deal. You can change during the game. Yeah, you see that this one is wrong, right? This one is wrong. So the right pulse, this one is rotated wrong, right? Compared to this one. So it should look outside, right? These straps should be outside, they are inside. So the right hip is actually wrong. So the left hip seems to be correct, so I will flag this as green. But wait, the other green. But the right hip, yes, these ones are all wrong, and we can probably see it because if we enable right and left, yeah, you see that they are well, actually this one seems to be rotated compared to this one, but it's probably not correct anyway. 8122, 8929. Okay, so to fix this, we need to go into the editor and basically rotate the socket position. But yeah, just download the game and give it a try. I mean, consider this game is done in our spare time, so it's, you know, don't expect a game like done by a professional studio. Yeah. But anyway, it is working these days, right? So it is in good shape. The game, I think, is in decent shape. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to take for example, this, right, and the skeleton, and then here we need to simulate. So the one that is wrong is the right side, right? The right side seems to be wrong. So I need the right hip. And then I need to apply the same mathematics that we have here, right? Right hip, so this. We can also do the left is the same, but relative rotation, yeah. Okay. And we can also try the location is fine. And then the left, so we get a sense of how it works, right? And the left should already be correct. Okay, now we keep some, let's keep the same asset. So the the Purs, I think it's called Purs 01 or something. Yeah, Purs 01. Okay, yeah, you can see that this one looks apart from the flip, because the flip is, but this one looks out, which is correct. This one looks in, right? And that is the problem that we are having at the moment. So the only thing we have to do, I guess, is to rotate on the Z 180, right? I think it's pretty much what we have to do. So if I rotate this 180 like this, right, that is my new result. Relative rotation. So if I copy this, and let's remember that, yeah, this guy had it wrong, right? Because we will test it again. So right hip, including diaboli male, yes, what is mine? So it's 81, 90, 150. Minus 81, minus 89. Yeah, exactly. So I will copy this over all these races, right? And I think I will flag it as green, or, well, we can wait maybe and see. We can test it. Okay, let me test it now. So if I re-import, now the fact that they are grouped helps us a lot, right? Because we don't have to do it for each character, but it's done in groups. Okay, he did it. Okay, so we can test it again. We can test it again. What was the name of that guy? This guy. Okay, let's see if now is correct. Yeah, it looks like now is correct. Okay, just to be 100% sure, let's try to flip it, right? The other one. Yeah. And he stays with the face out, right? You see that he's facing the two straps. Now it's not very easy to see, but anyway, the two straps, right? The two straps are looking outside, right? Which is what we want. Okay, perfect. So this was a kind of an easy fix, and this is fixing a lot of races. Now we are doing the hips because the hips are the one that immediately look wrong, but we will do the shoulders as well, right? I think we will check also that the shoulders are right. But it seems that the fix is very easy. It's just rotating 180 on the Z, that position. So I think we should be able to do this fairly quick. Okay, so all this rotation is right. Now, let me see. So this one, ouch. This one, so are now all this correct? No, they should be, yes, they are all correct. Okay. Fine. So these are all the hips. So, okay. Strange though, because I left hip, right hip, and then yeah, because the Yankee at the two they were already okay. Yeah, so it was only this group of people that had it wrong. Okay, good, good, good. Well, that's very easy then. The second thing I want to double check are the shoulders, right? So we will filter by shoulder. Wait, that's not the way to do it. Shoulder, come on, shoulder. Okay, these are all the shoulders. So also, also these ones are grouped, I assume. Yeah, but they are a bit different though. There are more groupings. Definitely more groupings. At the moment we have the Diaboli male on, right? Yeah. So to test, I think to test the shoulder, I will use, yeah, or we use the purse as well. Obviously it doesn't make a lot of sense, but let's try. If I use the purse, what happens? Right shoulder is looking this way. It's looking that way. I see. But this is not really telling me. You see? So there is another problem, because in theory they should look the same direction, no? Yeah, they should look, I think they should look the same. I don't know if they should look the same direction or they should look opposite direction, because we have the lute, right? I think I tested it with the lute. With the lute, yeah, exactly. I think the problem is that is one or the other. I think that is a logical problem, in the sense that if my item is rotated, let me think about it. But I think it's a logical problem. And I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can fix it. So let me take the okay. So the lute is rotated this way. Which is actually a problem though, because it means that if you put it on your side, it will be at an angle instead of being flat on your side, right? So probably this item is... Wait. Wait a second. So if I do right tip, right? Yeah, exactly. So if I do right hip, right, this one will be like this, will not be rotated. But it is because this item is not rotated properly in the 3D model. If I flip it, well, we just go up, down, right? Yeah. Yeah, but you see that it's not just doing up, down, it's also doing back and back and front. Because this model is not rotated properly in the 3D model. I mean, we can change it, but basically what we said that the face of the item should be on the positive X. The face of the item should be on the positive X. So if I take the lira, I think the lira I already rotated. I think the lira I already rotated. Yes, you see the lira is facing the positive X. But this means that if I want to put the lira on my back, it will be like the purse, right? So it will be looking that direction, yes. But on this character, I think we need to think about this. Let me do the lira. Let me do the lira. Let me do the lira. You see that it's looking the wrong side. So it's basically looking there instead of looking back. While on the right shoulder, I think it will look correct. The question is a bit how we want it. Yeah. So on the right shoulder it looks out, on the left shoulder it looks in. This is generating a problem. Or not. Okay, let me take a normal sword, right? If I take a claymore, right? Let me move this to the left shoulder, even if we know that it's wrong, right? But if I take a claymore and I want to put it on the right shoulder, no wait, what did I do? I don't know. I click cancel. On the right shoulder, it will look like that. Yeah, now the difference is that sword do not have different faces, front and back, right? They look identical. So even if I put this one on the left, I will not see the difference just because it's the same both sides, right? So if I do claymore left shoulder, and this is what tricked me at the beginning, right? Because I did it with the sword, and the sword was the same. both sides. So you cannot tell if it's looking inside or outside, right? But with the lira, it does. So I think what we want to do, so yeah, I think what we want to do, we want first of all to rotate the lute to be, you know, to be facing the positive X, like we did for every other. I don't know what happened here. Okay. Now, usually I put it kind of in the middle somehow, right? So that, but well, in theory, I also put it so that the handle is where the, yeah, but the problem is that it is a musical instrument, so I don't know if the handle is at the bottom or at the top. I mean, it depends which hand you are considering. I think it's okay like this. I think it's okay like this. I think we can. Seems that this one does not have texture or anything. Yeah. So we can re-export it this way. So at least it's looking to the right side. It's looking at the bright side of life, pretty much. Do we have? We do, but maybe we do it again just for safety. Should probably result in exactly the same. Well, not exactly the same. So we re-export it. And we re-import it. Lute material. Yeah, you see that now it's looking that side. Okay, but basically the takeaway is that our left shoulder is rotate, at least for this race, is rotated 180 as well, right? So we have to do the same. We have to do the same that we did on so left shoulder, right shoulder. So let's take exactly, so we were on the Diaboli May left shoulder, right? Which is this one. Yes, exactly. So Diaboli May left shoulder has a rotation that is this. And he has a translation that is this. Okay, if now I attach the lute, and I already rotated it, so it should be, yeah, you see that it's facing in instead of facing out. So what we have to do, we actually have to rotate it 180 on this angle. So the new rotation will be this. So if now I copy that rotation pretty much everywhere here. No, wait. Huh? Why is doing one by one? Huh? I don't know. For whatever reason, he decided that he can paste only one. Right? And I save this and I import it again. Now our character will have the loot looking outside on both sides, which I think is anyway the right way, right? Because I'm not expecting this thing to look left or right. I'm expecting this to look at the back, right? Something you put on your shoulder. I mean, in theory, it could also look at outside. It could also look left and right, but I think it should look this way. I mean, it's just a decision. It's one or the other. But since we are orienting all these items this way, I think that our shoulder should look this way. So if you put like a backpack or a... right? Is looking back. Okay, I think the answer is yes. I mean, it's obviously a choice. Can be one way or the other way. But at least I want it to be consistent with the right shoulder. That is basically what I'm saying, right? That the two shoulders should be functioning the same way. Now, in theory, all the items should look in the same direction. For example, I saw that the pan flute, right, is looking, yeah, is just laying on the ground, right? And it's not what we want to do. I think. I think what we want to do is to rotate this guy this way as well. I think it would be very nice to have. Well, we have. I think we have to rework a bit our skins. Because if I want to do variations of this item, I have to basically create a new texture, okay? But then I have to create a new game that is associating this 3D model to the new texture, right? And I mean, I'm not really creating a new item, a new 3D model, but I think what I'm thinking, I would like to have a bit more control on on the switch of the skins and how easy they are to use, but I don't know why apply transform is off. That is a bit strange. It actually rotates. Okay, so now Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you may like it or not. You may say, no, you should look outside. You should look to the left or to the right instead of looking back and front. But so now if I flip it, yeah, it will look like this, which to me is correct anyway. I think that to me, this is correct. I mean, obviously like much, but yeah. Okay, so we can say that the we can say, oh, I have wings. I am a butterfly. Look. Hello, Fanner. My food is on point, huh? Thank you, thank you. I clean it every day. I jump into the bath with a lot of bubbles and I clean it. It takes like 5 hours to actually dry, but because there is so much. How are you, Fanner? Para para pa para pam. Para pa pam. Yeah, I think like this is okay. Okay, so what we can say in our visual equip is that the rotation for the left shoulder for all these ones that are identical, right, now is okay. And we can also say that the same for the right shoulder. Wait, I think I have to remove all the filters because. But anyway, the one for the diaboli, right? The one for the diaboli. So right shoulder, right? The one for the diaboli male. So all the ones that are the same as the diaboli male. So not this one. Oh fuck, there are only 2. GG. Okay. For some reason the right shoulder, I mean like the left shoulder has a lot of commonality, the right shoulder doesn't. I don't know exactly why this happened. Fine, I don't know exactly why. This puzzles me a bit, but so those were the 2 main rotation issues, right? Potentially all the others are correct, but I don't really know. You see there are still a lot that are unknown, right? Shoulder. I'm good. I'm wondering, is there a max level in Plane Shift? Well, actually we have ranks. We don't have levels, right? So your character does not have a level per se, but the skills have a rank, right? So you may be at max level in your sword, or you may be at max level in your magic crystal way skill, right? So is there a max? Yes, there is a max. And the max is 200 for the skills and 400 for the stats. And I think it's not healthy to go above that and keep it open-ended, because to then do the math, right? Every formula is basically based on the fact that you have a certain cap, right? Like when you decide the strength of the monsters, you know the maximum cap, and so you refer the strength of the monster to that range to decide if this is an easy monster or a strong monster. If the top is infinite, that calculation would be impossible, right? So that is why we do it this way. In theory, you could allow to go more, right? But slowly, but still, it is a bit of a problem. Okay, for the Yankee mail, you're already looking at the right, the right direction. So left and right, Yankee mail. Now here we have a bunch of, they're all different. I think I did them, I don't know why I did them this way. I have no idea. They are all slightly adapted, right? This is, but yeah, like all these ones. You know what we should do at this point, since the majority are correct? I think we should take each character and keep all locations and then say yes, no, right? Because otherwise I'm just checking stuff that may be correct and I'm just wasting time, right? So I think to save time, we yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. So there are people that are maxed out in all the stats and some of the skills, but I think no one is maxed out in all the skills because it takes really a long time, really a long time. And yeah, the problem of having, oh, I'm a butterfly again. The problem of having one character to have all the skills maxed out is anyway a multiplayer problem, right? Because you want people to work in groups where everyone in the group is contributing some skill. So maybe one guy is good at lockpicking, the other guy is good at fighting, the other guy is good with magic, the other guy, like, so a bit like the classes, even if it's skill based, you want to have that between different players, and allowing everyone to become, in theory, max on all the skills is right. So that is why rising skills should be hard, right? And also there is also why there are certain quests that have exclusive branches. That you cannot be a master in all the 6 ways, right? Because the School of Magic do not allow you to do it, right? So they will just not accept you. If you are already a master in the red way, the blue way will not accept you, right? And so there is a, and I think actually we should do that more in the game, right? So there should be more more branches that bring your character to a group of skills, still keeping it very open, right? Because you may not be the master, but you can still be very good at pretty much everything. And yeah. Okay, my suggestion is we take every character. We take every character and we check for the visual equipment. What visual equipment means rotation and translation and in all the locations. And my suggestion would be to do it with a small item and with a big item. With a small item and with a big item. Yeah, so, well, actually, probably a small, a medium, and large. The only problem is, do we have items that are one facing, that are small, medium, and large that we can test with? I think I can create a macro. The problem is that the macro will be by character, which is a bit annoying. I can create a macro that spawns all we need, right? I think the test with the loot, I think is good. I think the test with the large purse is also good. But I think I also want to test with some weapons, right? And in particular, I think we can use the claymore. So maybe I can just create a script, right? I can just create a script that is doing all of that, right? So it's generating like 2 claymores, 2 daggers, like base daggers, 2 loot, and maybe 2 purses, 2 large purses. So if we have a script like this, and we put it in a script like that, and we call it make items, and we do it like this. Yeah, very nice. Then the only thing we have to do, we have to split it, because we want the visual keep to work separately, right, for each item. But apart from that, I think we are good. So then the work is to see the location. So to see if we like the location, right? Are these purses in the right place or not? Then to do the same with the daggers, for example. Yeah, it's a bit of a long work actually, but so do we like where the daggers are? I think we like it, because if he's closer to the body, I mean if he's really attached to the body, then any item that is slightly bigger will go really inside the body, and I think that's not a good idea. So for example, if I put a loot there, which now may be a bit too much, right? But yeah. Well, this one, for example, is a bit far away. Yeah, but if you do it this way, well, do it this way is... I don't know if the claymore is a good one, actually. I think we should try it with a longsword, which is the typical weapon, and also is more average in size and length and everything. Like for example, for this weapon, it looks a bit low, right? It looks the vertical translation looks a bit low, but it is a real problem. I don't think so. I think it's actually pretty good on this character. I think the hips are pretty good. With this one I think is the maximum size. Yeah, you see that this one is already going a bit in. And but yeah, I think it's actually good. Hello, Jaren. Hey, thank you for the follow and welcome. If you have any questions on the game or anything, feel free to ask. Hello. What we are doing, we are basically working on our inventory system that allows us to attach items to different parts of the body. Like for example, I can attach it to the right shoulder, right? And so it looks like this guy is carrying a sack on his shoulder. And we are testing with the different races that we have if the locations are actually nice or not. So if they look correct, right? Basically if they look correct. And we are testing with different items so that now obviously if I place something as small as a dagger, it will fly a bit, right? Because this dagger is very, very small. So compared to the shoulder position, it looks like it's flying, but I don't know. I mean, one other technique would be to actually line trace, you know, line trace between the item and the shoulder and then attach it. But I think this may give kind of weird rotations, or the weapon may go inside the body. So I don't know if it's a great idea. I think the current system, 11 to go. No, actually 10 to go is 890. 10 to go. To reach 900, we have a goal of 900 followers. So if you want to follow, that would be nice. We also have a goal of 40 Patreons. But anyway, thank you to everyone that is supporting the project. It's very nice of you. So I think that for this character, everything is correct. It feels actually very now the back may be a bit too far. Let me see. The back may be a bit too far, or not. Bah, no, I think it's good. You see, because the touch point, you know, is this. Now here there is a lot of space, but it's because it's attached here. So I think it's actually very, very good. I mean, obviously if I put the sack on the back, no, without flipping it, goes like that. I think it's okay. If I put the sword on the back, yeah, if I flip it, I think it would be very high. Yeah. Well, this problem, I mean, this problem is a problem that I don't know exactly how to solve, because the current code is not really considering the height of the character, so it's just considering this as the attach point, and based on where is it attached at the start, and at the start is attached here on the handle, it's calculating the same distance and is from the end of the item. So if this was the handle, this is now the handle, right? At the same distance. But obviously this looks a bit weird if you have it this way, right? Because you are keeping your weapon like super high. It's true that it's a very long weapon, so is very different with a normal sword, right? If I do it with a normal sword, I think it looks better. Maybe not perfect, but it looks better. Yeah, still it looks pretty high. Because the theory of this slot, the back slot, is that the items are probably not weapons, right? So the weapons are going here on the left shoulder, right? Probably even not flipped, right? So the weapons goes here, so the handle position is actually correct, and everything else that has like a middle pivot, it goes in the back slot, right? Now you may say that this back slot is anyway too high in general. I tend to agree. But the problem are the shields, right? Because this back slot has been done also for the shields. So if I take... if I take a shield, right? This will be perfectly centered. If I lower that significantly, that I can, I think it will start to look a bit weird. I mean, we can try to lower it a bit, right? I'm not saying no, but... what do you think, guys? Is too high? Is it too high? Because we have one socket, right? We don't have... I mean, in theory, we can specialize it by the length of the weapon. Like, we can say, oh, if the thing is longer than 1 meter, then move it down. But that will again not work if you have a pivot in the middle, or a pivot I mean, I think I can cheat and I can say... I think I can cheat and I can say only for the back slot. Only for the back slot. Don't consider the actual pivot point, but consider half of the item. Yes, I think it will work actually for everything. I think if I do it that way, it may work for everything. And it may be a better solution than what I have now. I don't know why flip is not supported on shields, by the way. So the difference is that if I do that algorithm, right, this will be down. Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea. I'm thinking about it, it's probably a good idea. So only on the back slot, because if you do it on the shoulder, it will look completely stupid, right? Because and the same if we do it on the hip, it will look completely broken. But I think that, yeah, I think that only on the back slot we can have a different reasoning. Now, okay, I think I convinced myself of it. So now Now I have to think. I have to think how to do it. I don't know why flip is not supported on shields. I think originally I did it because my flip was actually flipping back and forth, but now the flip is flipping top and down. So it should work on shields as well, no? I mean, it's true that we have a 90-degree rotation for the shields. I don't know, it's fine. We can leave this. So here is where we do the calculation, right? Retouching this is kind of tough, but I guess I have to do it. So let me try to get back into this logic. Load the position by race. Okay, so here we are loading the 3 values. Okay. And okay. Now, if you need to flip it, we are flipping on the x-axis, right? Yeah. And it is only considering the rotation, but what I don't understand is if the rotation starts from the pivot or not. Yeah, probably we start from the pivot, but anyway, we have the rotation. Now, if it's a simple flip, just get the existing component. Otherwise, find and create a mesh. Ah, okay, I understand. Okay, this part should be untouched anyway. This part is untouched. Flip is needed. Okay, let me check this. So there are 2 different parts of the code for that. If I don't remember this part. Ah, because we get the longest axis. We get the longest axis. Why we get the longest axis? Because we want to do because we consider the forward vector the longest based on the longest axis. We consider the forward vector based on the longest axis. Ah, yes, to calculate the overall length. Ah, yes. So get the longest axis because we need to know which one is the forward vector to get the distance from the pivot. So that is why we do this thing. That is why we do this piece. And I am getting also the half length. Now, that is what I think is not... That is what I think we should change, right? Because the half length is... the origin plus the extent. I didn't type what this is, unfortunately. But there was a reasoning that the origin was... I don't remember that. Calculate the original forward vector. Offset forward vector plus full length. And then calculate the offset. So negative direction, so it moves backward with the weapon's length. And the translation is my current translation. What is my current translation? Wait, my translation is what? Translation. No, translation is 0. Ah, no, wait. Ah, no. It's the translation of the... Yeah. Is the translation I get from the socket position, right? From the visual equip socket position, and then I add on that my offset, which is my forward vector multiplied by my length, right? And if I am flipping, the length stays the same. Okay, so the difference is that if we are in the back, I mean, this reasoning works exactly the same. But I don't remember what is the origin and half length thingy. I don't know if we have it under a visual equip mission or what, but I don't know if we have it under visual equip mission. Let me check. Because I think this will be a good change. I have the feeling that this will be a good change. Yeah, it is a good change, 100%. It may break, I don't know. No, it doesn't break anything. Visual equip mission. No, I didn't say anything about that. Shit. No, there is no... But I remember that we draw a picture with the... I don't think I still have it on. We draw a picture with the origin and all of that. But I don't have that anymore. So it's fine. It's fine. We can calculate it again. But basically, this formula will be different if it is on the back slot. It's different if it is on the back slot. And what I don't understand is half extent plus origin Z. Okay, I think we need to do this because it's, if I don't understand it, I know. Unfortunately, I didn't save the picture. This is a real pity. I didn't save the picture, my boys. Super stupid of me. Super stupid. Maybe we can get it from the previous live streams. I don't know. There was a picture that I remember where we were calculating the. I didn't save the picture. Let me try to see if we can find it. Visual equip. Visual equip. So this one is today, right? But we have visual equipment, visual equipment, visual equipment. I think it was probably maybe not the well. Let's open all three. It took me like 3 streams, right, to do that. And let me see if I find that picture. I think here we were really at the beginning. Okay. Nah, here we were really at the beginning. We were not we were not really calculating stuff yet. We were just creating the UI, creating all the possibilities. Adding just the button, right? Yeah, and here I was doing a bit of here was the problem with the we're getting closer. We're getting very closer. Getting closer. I'm watching my own stream, by the way, if you're confused of what is happening on stream, but I'm watching my own past stream. 97. I think here I was not yet into the full calculations. I think it was a bit of the beginning of the calculation. Okay, here we were getting into the calculations. Okay, but the stream is ended. So this was 97, so let's get 98. I think 98 will be the right one. 98. 98. Here I was just testing different items. Basically speed running the stream to see where I reach the point that I have to do the math, right? There must be a moment where here we were still working with a widget. I think I'm doing a bit of the math here. No, here we were doing something else actually. Just moving the item. Yeah, it was all the equip and unequip based on the... Okay, I remember that. I cannot find anywhere in the picture though of the positioning. Maybe I remember wrong. We didn't do any pictures. Maybe we didn't do any pictures. I don't see it. I don't see it, and at this point I think that we had already completed the calculation. I hope to get the answer to my questions from my past stream, but I don't. Strange though, because there must be a way where we are actually doing that reasoning, and but I think it's somewhere in the stream is hard to find, right? Is hard to find because anyway, hours and hours and hours of streaming, so cannot really easily. Maybe I was even off stream. I don't know at a certain point. So, okay, we cannot find it. Easy. Okay. Yeah, there is one more which is this, but I don't know. Maybe. This was really the reasoning how we wanted to display the item. This was the first stream on it. This was the first stream on it. Yeah, I remember this picture, right? This picture with the different location. We are evaluating the locations. But, and then we were adding to the UI. But no. Okay, I cannot find it. Probably was not there. Probably was not there. Okay, fine. So the only way to find out is to debug this code, and just remember 1 second what is the difference between origin and alpha extent, because I think that we have. So the idea is that an item can be, so if you consider the axis, right, the normal axis, you may have a sword, right, and the sword is actually, a sword is actually like this, right, and he has his handle here. And then his hilt there and his handle here, right? And it is centered compared to the axis pretty much this way. Well, in reality, no, I messed up because it's not. Usually the way we do it, we have the handle be the, right? The handle be, oops, I will never be able to do it again. Maybe yes. Usually we have the handle, the middle of the yeah, exactly, the middle of the handle, like this point, right, to be in 0, 0. And the question is, when you are extracting the extent, so when you are extracting this get local bounds, this is returning. Nah, it doesn't even tell you. It doesn't even tell you. Mean max, mesh bounds, max extent, mean max. Origin extent. I don't remember, but I remember that basically it was extracting, right? It was extracting this piece and this piece separately, right? And so our reasoning was that knowing the middle, we could actually position our pivot there, right? And I think that is how we did it. So I'm getting origin and extent, but what I'm saying is that I'm getting origin and extent, but then I'm basically always summing up one with the other. So what is the point? So I'm always, because probably one is negative. Because one is negative. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yes, because I think the origin is negative compared to the... yeah, compared to the extent, if I remember right. Okay, let's debug it because it's too confusing. But I think that, yes, that was the thing. That the origin was negative compared to the overall extent. But the extent was the half length or it was the full extent? I think it should be half length. So here we do half length plus origin. So we do half, because it's considering so this is the length, right? And obviously this is the half length. And I think that this is the negative origin. So we have these three numbers to work with. And so what we are doing, we are taking this, we are summing up the origin of it, and then we are positioning our item, but that will not work, right? That will not work. Okay, let me see. Unfortunately, I didn't explain shit about this code. I didn't explain anything. We did a reasoning when we did it, and now I lost it, right? I remember just pieces of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure, yes, that the extent is the half extent. So it's giving you half of the... But I don't know if it's giving you... I don't know if it's giving you half of the total length, or it's giving you half of the length up to 0, right? That I don't know. But we will find out in a second. I'm debugging, and so we will go through this code and check for as word. And for as word, it should be very easy to understand, right? Because the handle is at the end. So if we do it with a word, it should be super easy. And then when we have that, we can say, oh, only for the back, take the total and take only the half of the extent and put it as the offset. So basically, we will do it without the origin. I think that for the back, we have to remove the origin. Yeah, I think so. But let me confirm that with a test. And unfortunately now I think we will have a lot of stuff equipped, so it may trigger this code multiple times. It's actually not triggering anything. Why? Because they are not flipped, huh? Huh? I do this reasoning only if we have flip on. What the fuck? So if I don't have flip on, wait. If I don't have flip on, I just use the basic translation. Ah. Ah. Yeah, this is done only for the flip. This is done only for the flip. Because in the flip, what I want to calculate this distance. And I want to apply that distance to this distance, because then the item will be flipped, right? So I want to apply the same to this. So yeah, that is probably why I do it only on the flip. True or not? Yeah, true. So for the non-flip, I just apply. Okay, so then it's even easier. It's even easier because what we can do, we can say, if it's the back slot, right? We just keep this wall thing. If it's the back slot, wait. I mean, this part is still good, right? This part is still good. But this part, which is the actual calculation, including... No, only that piece. Only that piece. Only this piece. Only this piece. Only this piece. Only this piece. If we are in the back slot, we calculate the translation as, we calculate translation differently. Yes. And we do, and what we do, okay, now I need to know the extent. Okay. So let's try to flip it, because anyway I need to know that what that function is doing, right? So this one has the pivot pretty much in this position. So if this thing is 1.5 meters, his pivot is probably at 30 or 40 probably 30 centimeters in, right? So I'm expecting to have an origin of 30 or minus 30 and to have an extent of about 60 or so, right? So if now I flip it, we should trigger the, we trigger the breakpoint. And so here I see that my origin is minus 27 on the Z and minus 16 on the Y, and my extent is 66. Only 66? It's half length. Is half length. 66. 66. 66. So what he's saying, 66. 66. I think this one will be 120, right? Or 132, anyway. It's actually 93. What the fuck? It's actually 93. Okay, so 66 is only from here to here then. 66. Yeah. Yeah, 66 is to the origin. 66 is to the origin. Okay, so 66 is to the origin. So the extent is from 0. So it's none of this. Very nice. So the extent is actually this. And what remains, right, which is 60, which is 90 something, 94 minus 66, I think is like the 27 that we saw it, right? 94 minus 66 is like the 27, 28 that we saw, yes, on the Z. So the origin, is calculating this. But is it negative? Is it negative? Oh fuck, I timed out already. I let it run actually. Yeah, I think it is negative. I think the origin is negative, yes. The origin is all negative. 27, okay. So now if the item is completely up, then the origin will be okay. So what I need to do, right? So what I need to do, I need just to get my extent minus my origin to get the total length divided by 2. I mean, it's just a bit weird that I have to do it this way. I don't know if it would work for everything, but we will see. But basically, yes, what I have to do, if we are on the back slot, we just want to position the item in its half length. Otherwise, we consider the origin, right? Well, it's not really true because we said that we consider the origin only on the flip, but we consider, okay, but anyway, we consider the origin. I think it's okay. So we say that if the slot data visual slot is equal to EPS visual slot back, right? Then and this will become an else, right? If the visual slot back, then we get this. Now, I don't even know if we need the local bounds. I think we should just get the normal bounds and multiply it by 2. But I think I'm a bit confused because if I do, I think we may get a completely different number, but get bounds, I think that is like get, no, okay, get local bound. Okay, it's fine. We consider the origin can be negative, right? So we, origin is negative if the item is is like a sword, right? Like a sword where the mid handle is the origin, right? So if we want to have our half length, maybe there is a simple way, I don't know, but this is the only way that I see at the moment. If we want to have our half length, we take but we need to know the forward vector anyway. Or not. Because yes, I need to know the forward vector anyway, because otherwise how do I reposition? I mean, in theory, it's always the z. It's always the z, but it is a good assumption. Probably yes. Because if you have an item, right, it is kind of a cube. So what this code is doing is trying to understand. I don't know. I don't even know if this is really needed. Because what this code is doing is trying to understand if your item is a sword like this, right? Or if your item is a sword like this, right? Depending on how it's positioned. And so he's saying, oh, it's vertical. So he's saying, oh, it's vertical. So this is the longest side. And so I have to move it on the z, right? Because we want the forward vector to be the z. But if I have a sword that is oriented this way, then it will say, oh, it's not the z, it's the x, right? And then everything will fuck up, I think. Because if he's taking that length, let's assume that he's taking the x length, right? And then he's deciding that the forward vector is the x. And then he's relocating that length when you flip it. It will flip it horizontally with the handle being yeah, well, actually I think it kind of makes sense, because basically your sword then will become like this, right? So it will flip it this way instead of flipping it vertically. It will flip it this way, yeah. Now, none of our objects is well, the Purs, for example, right? The Purs has the X, but still when I flip it, he flips it vertically. I don't know. I don't know, it works, so I don't want to touch it, but this is a bit okay, I don't know, this is a bit weird. This is a bit weird. I don't know if I have to consider this or not for my... I mean, what I'm tempted to do is this, right? I mean, we can try and see if it works. What I'm tempted to do is... what I'm tempted to do is just this. Is just the... that, right? What? isn't the same that I'm doing here. Ah, fuck. Because here we are also rotating on the... Ah. 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 We are also rotating on the axis. We are taking the so whatever rotation we have, we are rotating it on the, oh my god, on the local axis that is calculated with the longest side, and then we are multiplying it by the full vector. Yeah, so fuck it. I see. Okay, we will do the same. Okay, so let's not invalidate our logic that actually works, right? This logic works. So if it works, let's use it, okay? Let's use it. So I will just make a simple function that is returning what? Is returning the half length and the local axis based on an extent that I'm giving it, right? Yes. So okay, let's do it. I mean, it's fine. So this will be Visual Equip. This will be calculate Visual Equip extent or something like that, right? And what we need we need to return a float which is actually half length, and we need to return a vector that is our local axis, right? Okay. So and we get in, you know, our extent, which is actually the extent, yes, right? So yeah, and the origin as well. Oh fuck it. Okay, the origin as well. Okay, can you declare this? Fuck. Doesn't want to declare. Fuck you. Given an item, extent and origin, it returns the half length and local axis and the longest axis, right? Yeah, it's not local axis, it's longest axis. And the longest axis, yeah. Okay. Why all these variables are uppercase? Good question. I don't know. They just came out that way. Okay. Oh fuck, I have to change them all, GG. fine. Okay. So now we just call this, right? With extent origin, and we return our half length. And our local axis, right? Then I have no idea why we do full length equal to half length, but just a freaking previous code, I don't know. But yeah, so basically the point is that in our back thingy, we have to do the same. In our back thingy, we have to do the same. With the difference that the half length, yeah, the half length I think we need to recalculate though, because the half length is good for my do I need to rotate the vector then? Yeah, I think I have to do exactly the same. Isn't this code becoming exactly the same with the only difference of... Isn't this code becoming exactly the same? With the only it is becoming, but the only difference is that my half length I will not apply the half length. So I will I think I'm confused. But I will try to pretend that I'm not. So the local axis is correct, right? Because is the direction we are pointing to. We take the original rotation, we rotate it based on that, and then we multiply the forward vector by this. Now, exactly. And this is not what we need. So, and this we don't need pretty much. Because this is the origin length in a certain way, right? Origin based length, right? But we don't care about that. We care about our half length. And our half length is this. And our half length is and our length is this. So wait a second, is this not used anywhere? Yeah, it's used here. Forward vector multiplied by full length, right? So here I'm doing the same. I'm doing offset forward vector multiplied by that, and then I do, yes, my translation plus my offset, with the difference that this will be in the middle in theory. So this happens if it's a flip or is not a flip. Because if this is a flip, we go anyway with this translation, but then down here, we flip it or not? What the fuck do we flip it? We flip it here. Okay, so it will be flipped already. Okay, okay. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So basically now the difference is that on the back it should take half of the item pretty much. All this mess is just to do that. But I'm not completely sure when you have items that are horizontally placed what happens, but we can try. Yeah, but I think this is a good change anyway, because it was actually looking weird. So what is the theory? The theory is that if you are putting your sword on your left shoulder or right shoulder, you are hanging it by the handle. But if you are putting it at the back, you want to have the middle of the sword on your back, right? Because it's a lower anchor point, right? I think so. I don't know if this is really gonna do it, but hopefully it will. I mean, obviously the whole logic is basically this, right? Because the rest is the same as we do in the other cases. But here we are using extend z minus origin. Well, actually, we could use... okay, so I fucked up. Because in theory we should not use extend z minus origin z, but we should change this based on... okay. I see. No, I think this will work. I mean, this may work now, but only for vertical items. In theory, I should take the half thingy, but I should change it inside this function, no? Yeah, so I need another parameter that is if I want it origin based or if I want it middle based. Yeah. 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 I think probably will be a better idea. So we can say boolean is middle point or position in middle position. Yeah, we can say if middle position is true. If middle position is true, we want to set the pivot of our item to the mid of the longest axis. If middle position is false, we use the origin as the pivot. Yeah, I think we should do it that way. I think it's cleaner because otherwise, it will work only for the X, for the Z item. Okay, here we don't have anything on the back, so we don't know yet, right? So let me remove everything. Okay, so if I want my... let's do it with the sword, because the sword is very evident, right? If I put my sword on the left shoulder or right shoulder, it will be, yeah, like this. So the handle is the position. But if I put it on the back, holy shit. Definitely it didn't work. Definitely it didn't work. What he's doing is taking the length, is moving the length. Yeah, it's basically taking the length. Yeah, but it's using the full length. It's not using half of the length. How it is? Ah, I didn't divide by 2. Okay, I didn't divide by 2, which is already a good point. But even if I divide by 2, it's still broken. I have to divide by 2. That's fine. But why? Why is here? Because I need to move it. I need to move it in the vector direction of that amount, of half of that amount. I have to move it. Yeah. I know the problem. Okay, let's do these two change. Wait, let's do these two changes. One is that we want to know if we have a middle position, right? Which basically makes this function smarter, which is nice because then this function can. Okay, so what do we do here? So basically, if middle position is true, right? Our half length, if middle position is true, our half length will be the extent minus the origin divided by 2. If not, is like this, right? So basically I have to copy this everywhere. Well, I have to change Y and Z, obviously. And the axis stays as the axis, right? Okay, then we need to say that if we are in the back slot, we want this to be true. If we are not in the back slot, we want this to be false. Okay, nice. Now we are dividing by 2, but the problem is that dividing by 2 is not enough. Dividing by 2 is not enough because dividing by 2 is not enough. I think this should be a minus, right? This should be a minus or not. No, it is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong because my sword is already positioned here, right? So if I do half of the sword, if I do half of the sword, which let's assume that is here, let's assume that this is half of the wall, right? And then I say, hey, can you move the origin of my item by that much? It will be wrong because my item is already using the origin, right? So oh fuck. So what I have to do, how do I find the real middle? How do I find the real middle of this? How do I find the real middle of this? Well, the real middle of this is what? I mean, the middle of the full weapon. I mean, I need to take also half of this. I need to take half of this. I mean, basically what I have to do, I have to move up the sword by this amount, and then I have to divide it by 2, and then I have to remove that amount again from the half. I don't know. Guys, any one of you good at math? Any one of you good at math? It is a pure mathematical problem, right? So you have a coordinate, you have this word that is not in zeros. I mean, obviously, if this word was in zeros, was laying on the x-axis, would have been so easy, because it's just half of it, right? So if this word was like this, where his handle is here on the x, right? Then my calculation of half perfectly works, right? Because you say, oh, you take this, you divide it by 2, your middle point is here, easy, right? And your middle point is here, and so my divide by 2 actually works. And then what I do, well, let's reason on this case because it's simpler. And then when I have this, I want to position this here, right? So I want to move my sword down by this amount. And I want to move it in the opposite of the forward vector. Right? So I have to do a minus forward vector, or I can do a minus of my length. I mean, it's the same, right? Because so basically this needs to become a minus. So I think if I do a minus here, obviously I have to remove this, because now this is calculated inside my thingy. But my problem is if in addition I have this delta, right? If in addition I have this delta, which is actually moving the axis, is actually moving the middle. How do I calculate it? I just have to remove this, or I have to remove half of this? Z middle equal a Z top plus z bottom, considering that z bottom is negative, right? Divided by 2. So for example, we have 70, we have 70, and we have 30. Okay, we have 70 and 30, but 30 is minus 30. So you are saying I do 70, and the length is 100, right? I do 70 plus 30, which is actually minus. So I go 50. So I go 40, and I divide it by 2, and it becomes 20. No, it's not working. Because if I move 20, if now I move 20 in this direction, my center will be 50. While we know that this, yes, it works. Yes, it works. Yes, it works. Okay, good, thank you. So we do, okay, let's do that. So we do the top minus the bottom divided by 2, and then I move that value down. So I do that, what? So I do that top. You are saying plus, huh? Plus, but it is minus. Yeah, okay. So it's basically the same, it's just divided by 2. Instead of being like this, that it was not divided by 2. So I do plus, 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 divided by 2. Top plus bottom, divided by 2. Okay. And then I think I need to subtract it from my... Well, I think it depends on the forward vector, right? Because if we are flipping the forward vector, but okay, let's try like this because it's already too complex for me to... Ah, but wait, I fucked up. The result is my... the result is my calculated length, let's say. Calculated length, let's call it this way. Calculated length. So I multiply the forward vector by the calculated length, and then we go, right? And then we do translation minus offset. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, because I think in the middle will look so much better. Now, it may look a bit weird for a sword that has a handle, but I think it will still look better than how it is now, which is super high, right? Because if you have a body, you know, if you have your body here, right, and you are carrying something long, it's very it's very likely that you are taking this long thing that is, for example, a claymore, right? And if it's in the back, you want the middle to be in your middle back, right? While now is putting this in the middle back. So the result is that the sword looks like this instead of looking like this, right? So okay, compiled. The only thing I don't understand what happens if I flip it. I think if I flip it, if I flip it, this should become a plus. No, in theory, no, it's the same because if you flip it, well, actually, you flip it on the origin. Oh my god. Yeah, you flip it. I don't know. If you flip it, I don't know what happens. Because I don't know if he's rotating on the handle, right? If he's rotating on the handle. I don't know. Well, we can see and fix it in case. I don't know. I have no idea. I hope that now is correct. There is the reason why simulation helps, because you can simulate your problem, see the result, and then adjust your math. Because if you have to do your math blind, I mean, that's like godlike skills, you know? Okay, I think it's correct. I mean, it looks a bit weird because for this particular character, the back slot is too much inside his body, right? But we will move it. We will move it. But this is correct. So he took the half of the sword and he put it on the back. So it means that if I use the portable bag, no, the portable sack. Okay, if I use the portable sack and I want to put it in the middle, yeah, you see now it's here instead of how it was before. That was very high. Now we need to understand, and I will move this lot more to the back because I think he's probably wrong. Now we need to see what happens if I flip it. Yeah, so if we flip it, I think if we flip it, we have to change the sign. So I think that if slot data is a flip, we do plus, else we do minus. I think that is pretty much what my sense is telling me. But we will test it and see. I don't want to think. I don't want to think, I just want to test it. Easy life. The only problem is that if the flip is actually flipping on the origin or flip, so that is what I don't understand. So it may have an offset by the origin. So it may work on the sack, but it may not work on a weapon. But thank you, Twilight. That was useful. Because I was confused about the minus, right? I was confused about the minus. So I was saying, if it's minus, the middle will never work. But in reality, it does. I was confused about the, yeah. About the, because it does minus, but then you add it back to the origin that was already there. Because the item keeps its origin. And so you do 20 plus 20. Or whatever it is. $20 plus 30. Anyway. Do you think it's better in the middle? I think it's better in the middle, huh? I think it makes more sense. Because if you carry something, you carry... Like, imagine you're carrying something... For example, the staff, right? The staff that we tried to equip the other day. It was looking very weird on the back because it was so high. It looked like a flag pole. Ah, it seems to work. Okay, nice. It seems to work. So it's minus if yeah, it works. Okay, good. I mean, we can try with a longer item, but yeah, we tried already with a Claymore, right? The Claymore is a good example because it's very long. And if you use the old technique, like if I Like if I put it on the right shoulder and we use this technique, it will be super high, right? But like this, I think is good. So now if I take, I think we broke the plant man though. You know plant man? I think we broke that. Yeah, I think we broke the plant man. Because the plant man was working. So you basically this was coming on top of your head because, well, but in theory no. But anyway, this is more proper, right? Because if you flip it, yeah, you see that the middle is the middle, and at least you are trying to carry it properly. I think it's the same with a barricade or with anything, right? If I take like a high barricade 1, no, high barricade, what is the name? I don't know. If we take barricade high 1, right? If I take this and I try to put it on my back, this one is rotated wrong. Yeah, because this one is rotated 90 degrees, so it's not looking at the, but anyway it's in the middle, right? The whole point is that now it's in the middle before it was at the top. Yeah, so we broke the plant man basically. Plant man is gone, which is a pity, but I mean obviously if you try to okay, so now the lira, for example, if you want to put a lira, because this whole thing started for this, right? If I want to put a lira now, is exactly in the middle, and I think it looks better. Apart that is too deep, but yeah. I think it will look better. Okay, nice. This was a good fix, so we keep it this way. Maybe we should just be sure that we didn't break anything else, but we will test all the other locations, right? We will test all the other locations, so we will see if something broke, right? It doesn't look like, but let me try the shield though. Let me try a shield. So in theory the shield on the back should have no difference because the shield is already centered, so the origin is 0, so what we are subtracting or adding is 0. And in fact it works, right? It's exactly as it was. Yeah, exactly. Let me try the left and right hip just to be sure that we didn't break anything, but I don't think we did, but just to be sure. Yeah, this one is okay, this one is okay, and this one on the left is okay as well. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think we did it. So you see that the character is more customizable now. You can have more stuff, yeah, on your character to make it look nicer. When we will have more facial and hair customization and a bit more and few more clothes, right, that I will add in the future, I think our character will finally start to look more unique, right? Because you put all the visual equipment plus all these customizations, and at the end your character really is a special one. We want you to feel that your character is unique, right? Okay, so we did that, which is nice. Do I have to clean up the code, or is it fine? No, I think it's fine. There is still this part I commented on. Yeah, there is a part about the scale. So if the item is scaled, at the moment we are not applying. Is it true or not? Let me scale this claymore 2 times, right? So this claymore will be huge. So if I drop it, so it takes a second the first time. Yeah, this claymore is kind of huge, right? So if I try to keep this huge one, let me remove everything. And I try to keep this on my back. Yeah. The scale is not... The scale is not considered. So actually, items that are scaled back to their original value. I don't know if I like this. Do we need scale? Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, but I don't want to do it now. It's such a small. I mean, it's such a special case. I think items in general do not have scale. I mean, could be, but not the ones that you buy, or are only the GM items that. Okay. Okay, so what we can say is that, okay, going back to our original task, right? Our original task is to evaluate all the visuals for all the... So let me disconnect. Let me go with the Enki mail, right? With the Enki mail, we said that all the slots were okay, but now that we did this change, I want to see if the back is good on him or not. And by the way, hello everyone. I see we have a bit more people than usual. We have 15 people total. 10 on Twitch, 5 on YouTube. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. If you have any question, guys, or anything, please ask. We are improving this visual slots, trying to make it better. It's a feature that I introduced not long time ago, maybe a month or so, and we are trying to make it more and more interesting. Yeah, you see that now the sack is actually proper, right? It's proper in the middle, while before it was very high. Yeah, it looks more like a backpack that I like, actually, because we may do this, right? We may do this. Now, obviously, if you are a portable sack, right? If you are going crazy with the equip, and you go like, oh, I have this sack here, I have this sack on the right shoulder, I have this maybe flipped, I have this sack on the left shoulder, right? So, I mean, you can build stuff that is actually impossible, right? But like this, but anyway, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Okay, so we can say that for this character, we like how all the slots are, right? Because we tested left tip, right tip, and everything is as it should. So we can say that for this character, Enki male, we can say in-game okay. Okay, now Diaboli male. That is the one that we were testing. Oh, by the way, now there is a confirmation when you exit from the game. The before it's not there. I think the Diaboli male has the back slot too much into his body. So we have to move the back. And I don't know if he's sharing the back with other characters. Probably yes, so we have to be careful of not messing up. Okay, let's test first of all. Let me just go day. Let's test all the others. Well, now he also has a robe. That's the question though. Do we have to test the positions with the robe or without the robe? I think without, yeah, because you see that without the robe is actually fairly good. Maybe it's even too much. Yeah, I think it's too much anyway inside. Because it works with this ward that is zero width, but obviously if we put the portable sack, well, the portable sack is actually alright. Yeah, you see that it's going inside the body. And I think if we have something that is, I don't think the shield, but if you have anything that is a bit more thick, maybe the loot, it will go in even more. So well, this one no, because it's empty here. This one actually works well the way it is. Yeah, but I will move it back a bit. I think we should test probably without the robe. Okay, let's test all the slots. Right shoulder. Fine, at least with this item. Right shoulder flip. No flip. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it will always be like this, guys. Anyway, for this particular item, right? Because this item is really done in a weird way. So probably we should test it with a sword or whatever. Wow, it's super close though. There is, I don't know, I think these back slots on this character are a bit too much attached to the body. Because again, the portable sack will go in. Yeah, will go in by quite a bit. I think all the back slots of this character should be moved, I don't know, like 5 centimeters. I mean, not much, but like probably 5 centimeters to the back. This one seems to be a bit better. This one looks kind of okay to me. Yes, it's going a bit in, but it's also because this sack is a bit fat. We don't have a model for the wizard robe. Oh, we have this. No, we don't. Okay. I'm just testing a bit randomly, you know, the different position and see how it looks. Yeah, so I think that these ones are okay. I would just move the one at the back. Even if it may look pretty good with a weapon like this. I think the left is okay. We can move the right one. They will probably then intersect, but it's fine. I think the right is a bit too much inside. Yeah, that one is really too much, like million too much. Okay, so let's move the back and the right shoulder slightly to the back. Okay. I don't know, this one looks a bit flying, but I think it's better flying than inside the body. Now, how much? How much? I don't know. Okay, let me see. This visual slot is shared with who? This visual slot, Diaboli M, is this value. So if I take this value, who's using this value? Hey, you see, a lot of races are using the same setting, right? A lot of races are using the same setting. So do we want to make it special for him, or do we want to make it special for all? So for example, I don't know, because they may have a different back, right? I think let's change it for him, and we will see. We will see. Now, to change it is not very simple. We have to go in the editor, position the weapon, look at how it is, move it, copy back. It's like it's like hard stuff. I mean, it's easy but annoying. I feel anyway it should be probably the same for all the other races. My feeling is that I just went too much inside the body. So the way to do it is to get our Diaboli male torso. Then use the Diaboli male collection. Then on the back slot attach our longsword, for example. Yep. Well, this one is another one, but it's okay. Then apply the rotation, scale, and translation. Yeah. The rotation, scale, translation. This one actually is positioned. I don't know, it's positioned correctly. Yeah, you see that it's really going in, right? It's really going in. So what we have to do, we have to move it. I don't know how much, but maybe like this. So the new location becomes this, right? So I moved it. Whatever I moved, I just copy this. I paste it back into my Diaboli M translation. Yeah, I moved it that much, right? Now for the right shoulder, pretty much the same. For the right shoulder. Yeah, the problem is that we have to do it for every character. In every location. Well, every location that is wrong, right? No, sorry, it is the right shoulder. Wait. I'm messing up. Right shoulder. I mean, the scale is the same. Okay. Yeah, obviously moving the back a bit, now they are colliding, right? So now they are colliding because they are in the same spot pretty much. So I mean, we can change that a bit with the rotation, but I don't know, we can do this. Yeah, let's do this. So the right shoulder. Hello, I'm not Smilsy. Hey. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. How are you today? So right shoulder, copy. So we put it here, right? Now the problem is if we want to share the same with all the other that have the same settings, right? I'm thinking yes. I think but how do we test it? Go in game and check all the others with a similar logic, right? And say if they all look the same, we change it for all. Yeah, let's do that. Because I don't want to redo the same thing for every race if they are all wrong the same way. Now still 10 to go, but 920, 809 is already a win. It's 9 to go, Hula. We are at, look at the top of the screen. There, look there. Is 900, 891. I don't know why there is, I don't know why in the chat is saying 890, I don't know. I think it's the previous value before the follow. Okay, so for example, Ilian M, right? Like this guy. Ilian M. Ilian M. So if I spawn the same longsword, right? And then we equip it. I don't know why it's becoming day and night randomly. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's the same for him. I think it's the same. Well, no, it's not the same for him. Like for him, the back is already fairly good. But yes, the right shoulder is is too much inside. So I would do the same fix for the right shoulder, but the back I would leave it as it is. Yeah, so you see that it's not the same for everyone. It's not the same for everyone. Yeah, because depends on the body and the body of the character, right? So even if this guy is the same back, he's not. So how do we do? So we say. So right shoulder we say apply also to alien male. While back we say no, and left shoulder is already okay. No, I think I have to do it this way, otherwise I go crazy. I have to do it in groups. Sorry, I haven't read your message. I'm reading the message now. Doing good, just browsing Unreal Engine, people, yeah. After talking to a child with a game ID, zero experience in UA, no prototype, no GDD, but posting his Lego so everyone else can do their job. Yeah, we have a lot of people like that coming on stream and asking weird questions. Like yesterday, I mean, not really every day, but very often we have people joining and say, how hard is to make a game like Dark Souls? Right? So that's one of the typical questions that we get, which is obviously a very open question. Null 3 RAM, 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 null 3 RAM. I think I passed it. No, I passed it. Was this guy? Yeah, was the second guy. So we have a lot of questions like that, right? And then I anyway try to answer, right? If someone is genuinely willing to make a game and is trying to understand how complex it is and all of that, right? I usually try to answer anyway. Hello, Max Shallow. Hey, welcome back. But usually, as I start answering, they just disconnect, right? So they don't even listen to the answer. So it's just kind of funny. So they ask one of the most complex questions and then they disappear. Which is kind of fun. They have like no patience, so they have like no patience. If they don't get their answer immediately, like in 5 seconds, then they just go to another stream and but anyway, I'm here also to answer your questions. So if any of you has any questions, you are more than welcome to ask the question. And I may not be the best expert on Unreal Engine, but definitely I used it a lot at this point for many different things. Okay, so let's have 2 more longswords and we will do the test. We are just testing how these items are actually looking when equipped on different characters. Yeah, for example, on this one, right, they seems to be all okay. Now, this one is a bit in, but it's not in the body. And the back looks okay, and the left looks okay. So, I mean, it can be slightly better, like the back maybe is too far. On this one, I feel is a bit too far. But, you know, Yeah, the back actually on this one is a bit too far, I would say. Yeah, I was trying to do it in groups, but it seems that it's not working. I think we have to do it character by character. Fuck. Because they're all different. They're all different. I'm trying to go through this list and say, oh, is the back, you know, all these are sharing the same coordinates for the back slot, but it seems that it's not really, my test is not really working. So I have any way to go through all of them? Like, for example, on this one, I would like the back to be a bit closer. I think it's really too far. So what do? We do one by one. Okay, we do one by one. So the group idea doesn't work. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. It's a bit painful, but because it's longer, but well, it's longer. Is the way it is. So Diaboli right shoulder, Diaboli back. So Diaboli back we will apply. And Diaboli back we will apply. And then we will go Diaboli left shoulder, right shoulder. Right shoulder we will apply. Right shoulder we will apply. And then we go Ilian M, we see that this has to be applied as well. Ilian M, right shoulder. Where is it? Ilian M, right shoulder. What? It's like 10 centimeters away. Okay. Fine. Ilian M right shoulder we apply. And okay, we will go one by one. We will go one by one. It will take a bit more, but at least we are 100% sure that it works like it should work. We will go one by one. Chi-chi. Okay, so we changed the Diaboli mail. So let's see if now is better and we can declare it complete. Perhaps one day the Tiger make a special video for answer to this. The answer to what? To making a game idea for the game idea? There is a lot of people with game ideas, yeah, but yeah. There is very fewer people that can actually make a game. I'm pretty happy that we have a game that, because there are a lot of people streaming on Twitch that they are developing stuff, but they never release it, right? They just go, which is okay. I mean, many people are doing it just for entertainment, and it's fine. But we have a release game. I think that's a bit special, right? And also we show all the code, because usually people that have release games, or anyway there are companies, they don't stream because they don't want to show the code, because is private stuff, right? And I understand that. I mean, they have IP protection and their code is closed source and all of that, so they cannot really stream it. There are people streaming their development, but not that many. Okay, so we moved yeah, I think like this it looks way better, right? So we moved the location. So are we good with this character? Are all the location okay or not? Let me try again the left hip, maybe. Yeah, the left hip is okay. We flip it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have 5 locations. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking to add also locations on the upper arm, and add a location on the lower leg, but like daggers, right? Like if you want to have a dagger here, or a symbol or something. Maybe I will add it in the future, because code-wise is pretty much the same as we already did, so it's not very hard to add. I think it's the hardest part is to match all these socket locations that are a bit annoying, right? But apart from that, I think it's fairly easy. It's not. Okay, so this guy, I would say, is all good. So we say character upgrade, Diaboli male. Okay. So now let's go Diaboli female. So the wife of this guy. You know what I would like to do, Hula, one day, and I will do it for sure, but I don't know when. I will do a video with all the picture of all the missions that we did, right, from the beginning. I mean, in order of dates. So I have a directory, right, where we have all the Unreal missions. I can show it to you, like wait. You know, this missions, right? This mission. So everyone is a mission, like mission setting rules, mission shield block, right? Mission sitting. So when we did the sitting on the chair, mission sitting too, right? Here we were testing, you know. I think every one of these pictures is basically all the work that we did on all the functionality of the game, and there are really dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of those, right? And I think it would be nice to make a video where it just, by date, maybe putting the date on the top right, we go through all of them and saying, I don't know if I want to have a commentary or not. Maybe zero commentary, just the pictures and the title. So like, this is what we did for spell casting. Boom. This is what we did for mission statistics. Boom. That is what, well, I don't know, this one probably not, but this is what we did for swimming underwater. This is what we did for talents and abilities. This is what we did, right? And so on. And there are actually hundreds of those, right? And I think could be kind of a nice log of, with the dates of everything that we did. Which I think is cool. I can do that. No, we don't have a Diaboli female. I remember we had one. We don't have a Diaboli female. Okay, we create a new one.
And here the story begins.
And here the story begins.
Someone special was born, far away from where his mission would be accomplished.
What is going on?
The charming and mischievous Diaboli are native to Hurtene, a black world enveloped in dark clouds where magic runs rampant and with constant lighting producing dim light. Volcanoes dominate. Incredibly enough, those
Why is not
planets had
skipping?
something in common. You were born under the constellation. Your childhood and your
It's not
adulthood
skipping.
were full of events.
He's not skipping anything.
You decided to cross the portal and follow your fate.
Maybe he skipped, he just didn't type it. Yeah, it actually skipped.
But something.
The mission for the goods. Perhaps one day it's better to make a PDF. A PDF? Do you think people are still reading in these days? Still opening PDFs? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, but I can make a book. I can make a book, and the book is called All My Missions. Now, the oldest one, let me see when is the oldest one by date. I think it's fairly recent, because Maybe 2018, 2007, I don't know. Because I started to save them. When is the oldest? The oldest is... Oh wow, there are like so many. The oldest is of the mission is where is it? There are also some not called mission, but 2018, and then it jumps to 2021, 2019. Wait, date modified. Yeah, 2018 I think is the first. Which is okay. I mean, it's all the Unreal Engine piece, right? It's all the Unreal Engine part. It's not the previous stuff. Okay, let's try with the longswords, which I think anyway gives me a good sense of space. Obviously, this character is the longest hair possible. Yeah, but I think the back is fine. I think actually on her it looks okay. The current position of this NPC I think are fine. At least the one at the back, right? Now let's see the one at the side. Right hip, left hip. Fuck, I clicked the same one. Right hip. Maybe a bit too close, but I think it's good. I think it's good. We can use it this way. I think she's good. She's good. Maybe, I mean, I think I fixed a number of them already in the past. So the ones that are broken hopefully are not 100, right? But we also need to test. The front back, the front back flip. We have to test the front back flip, my boys. Okay, it's correct on this character. It's correct on this. I mean, obviously putting these items so high doesn't make any sense, but it's fine. Maybe one day I will do the trace to the body. I will do a trace to the body and attach it, but maybe. Perhaps we link inside for the video. That is not very easy to know what is the link, right? Because there's those missions we. The mission has a name, but doesn't have a video relation, right? So it doesn't have a number. So we cannot. We cannot. But anyway, I can write a book about game development one day. Why not? I think I will do it actually. I think it would be fun to do. I think I can name it everything you should not do to make a game. If you want to make a game, I can tell you all the mistakes. I mean, all the mistakes, I know them all. I know nearly all of them. I think this character is good anyway. We can say that is okay. In game, okay. Okay, the Cran. I think the Cran had some of the hips, they were a bit too far, but... okay, let's try the Cran. I have some pictures for the people that are asking how to make a game. I think I can develop a kind of a model for it as well. Do you think the book should be free or the book should have a price? And if he has a price, how much? Cran. Cran. I think I like testing with longswords because they are very meaningful. Oh, by the way, I think you didn't see it, but I have two backpacks now. I have this backpack, which is the one with the roll at the top. And then I made another, well, I just changed slightly this one, removing the top. So there is another backpack that I think is just called backpack, actually. Yeah. That is like this. And by the way, now the backpack looks better because well, no, because it was already centered. It was already centered, and so it was already looking okay. Yeah, but we have this, so maybe we can skin it differently. We can have different backpacks. I mean, the model is okay. The texture, I don't know, is not really, I mean, it's a bit the same. But I think it's okay. Okay, let's test with the longswords actually. I think the crane I already fixed, so probably it is correct. The right is a bit at the limit, but I think it's fine. I think it's okay. I mean, I don't have to make it perfect, right? I just have to make it so that it doesn't look stupid. I think it's good, guys. I think this character is also good. I think he can keep everything pretty much in the right slots. Oh, we have the new bracer, huh? We have the new bracer there. Look at that. Oh, really? Yeah, exactly. Oh, really? O'Reilly could be a good one if they want to publish it. You can also have all these pictures, you know. You can have all these pictures inside. The problem is there will be a book like 300 pages. I don't know. But I think it should only be an electronic book, right? Not a physical book, I think. I mean, it would be nice to have it as a physical book, just to have it on my library, but I think this character we can say that is okay. I feel that all the locations are good. Maybe it was only the Diaboli wrong. Ah, wait. The shoulder check. Please remember the shoulder front back, okay? That I absolutely need to test. I can do it with the backpack, which is obviously going to look weird, but yeah, so this should look at the back, right? And it is looking at the back. Yes, and it is also looking at the back. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, so I think we are... no, wait. That is the cran... Ah, the cran was already okay. Or I just copied now. I don't know. Enki male, we did it. Enki female. Enki female, my boys. I will have to go in about 15 minutes. But I think we made good progress. I really like the fix on the back. Enki female. Here she is. There she is. This skin, it looks like she has like gloves, but actually she doesn't. I don't know if the mapping of that texture is actually correct, now that I look at it, but it looks like upside down actually. No? It looks like this should be here and the finger should be white. Wait a second. I don't know, it looks upside down, no? Enki female. Enki female hand. Enki female hand. Enki female hand. By the way, we don't even have that. Where is taking that? He's taking that from Enki female and 5. Yes, which is actually inverted. You say? It is inverted. I don't know why he's using N5, but probably because this character had been converted from one race to the other. But yeah, it should be like this. Not like this. I think this one is wrong, guys. Enki and 5. Base Akayo. Let me see, Base Akayo. Characters. Enki female. Base Akayo. Base Akayo hand. Yeah. Yeah, he's wrong in the... He's wrong in the original files. He's wrong in the original files. We can flip it, it's very easy. Now, this one seems to be a bit fucked up, huh? As, well, anyway. You see it is flat here, which is not good. I think something happened, but fine. Are the others the same or? No, the others are not the same. I don't know why this one is so weird. I don't even know if we should use that. You know what? I'm going to redo it because I mean, it's not a big deal, right? But it annoys me that it's done wrong, and since I'm touching the file, it takes me 1 minute, and so I'm just going to redo it. But let me save this. So we want we want this one, right? Ah, it's doing the same. Why is it doing the same? Because the height is too much, because it takes the... Okay, I see. I think it takes that height as better. Better. Okay. Okay. So you guys always add your hands upside down if you were a female Akayo Enki. Female Akayo Enki, always add the hands upside down. Look at that. So it's white here instead of, so yeah. Why no one ever told me? Because you didn't notice, huh? You don't look at your hands. I see. No one ever told me this. Okay, fine, I mean... Now it's fixed. Hello, Electra. Are you working on the Furry Friends? Yes. Are you an Akayo female? Or what are you? Because your hands were wrong since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. No, I'm not working specifically on Enki, but I'm doing a pass on all the characters to see if our visual equipment is actually working as it should. Because you can put items to customize your character. Probably you have seen it. But you can put items on your right shoulder, left shoulder, on your back, right hip, left hip. So you have 5 locations where you can customize the look of your character that I really like. And I think very few games have that. And so, yeah, now the hands are okay. So the hands were wrong the whole time. Yeah, you see how much better it looks. Right? With the proper hands. Yeah, because the white is inside. Aha. Aha! We did it, boys! We did it! Let's go! The dark type. Okay, so let's do the check. Let's do the check on the different locations, okay? So, left shoulder. And right shoulder. And the back. And the back. Maybe the back should be flipped, but anyway, it's the same. Wow, that's a lot of words, my friends. Yeah, I think the positions are correct anyway. The positions are fine. Ouch, the tail. Ah! Ouch! Ouch, my tail is cutting my tail. No! It's cutting the tail. No! Let's remove it immediately. Ah, much better. Now try a table. Yeah, this is what everyone wants to do all the time, right? That is what people want to try all the time. So to go under furnishing, that is what people are doing in game as well these days. So they go under furnishing, they take a double bed. Well, maybe a single bed. Maybe a single bed, and they say, can I put it on my back? I mean, obviously you can. Why I should have restricted that? Now, now it may be a bit confusing when you go around like this because you know, but you're carrying it. Now this one is like this. It's not really laying on your back because of the rotation of the item. So there are certain items that are rotated a certain way, and so this is not designed to be carried on the back, right? I mean, if you want, you can also try it on the hip, but on the hip it will look very, very weird. On the hip it will look very weird. Yeah, but I didn't put any restriction. In theory, I could have restricted, you know, the categories of item. I could say, for example, if the item is inside furnishing, you cannot, right? But I decided to keep it open just so you people can have fun. I mean, you can do the same with the chest, or you know, I can put a chest on your head if you really want. Now you can put this chest on easy on your back. Well, this one will go on the back, but it will be also, considering the orientation, will be, yeah. The problem is that this one is a very big one. But if you crouch, you know, you can hide. You can pretend you are a chest. You are moving a bit, but if you try to stand still, right, you can pretend you are a chest. Maybe you can do it on the stair, because the stair will probably counter the not too much. Well, yeah, kind of nearly there, because it's countering the angle, right? Yeah, so you can sit here and pretend you are a chest and see if someone try to knock on you. No. The sleep, then the chest will probably stay straight up, right? The chest will be straight up. Yeah. So I will look like this. I don't know, it looks more like a tomb. I don't know, like a coffin. Imagine if there was PvP. I mean, there is PvP actually. Okay guys, I need to go, but it was very nice. We fixed the back slot. Obviously don't do this because it's not a good idea, right? Don't try to enter inside a chest. So I will say bye-bye. I will see you tomorrow evening, 9:30 p.m. European time. If you want to click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that's always a good idea. And if you also want to download our game, you can go to our website and download it. The game is released for Windows, for Linux, and for Mac. Yes, it works also on Mac, believe it or not. It does. Here are all our socials. You can connect to our Discord, you can become a Patreon, you can do whatever you want. If you want to support us, there are 1,000,000+1 ways. Bye! Bye. Sometimes it is many, huh? Bye. Bye bye.